10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Field classification. The cleanest
And now, here's our host, Akasha Shabba Khaan.
Om Shanti, my friends. Glad you could join us. Hey, I know I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Had a death in the family. Had to attend a funeral a couple of weeks ago. That kind of kept me off the air. It was on Friday. And last week was suffering with hay fever. Holy cow. And you know what? I got out and mowed the yard again yesterday. And, well, I got a touch of it. But you know what? We're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on going just like nothing happened. So anyway, sorry that we've missed you for the past couple of weeks. Wasn't our intention, just the way things worked out. But anyway, today we're going to get back on the subject of integrity. Oh my gosh. What is it about integrity that Akasha just can't get off of it? I mean, man, seems like that's what we talk about all the time, isn't it? Well, maybe it's my purpose. So I'm here on purpose, you know. So I'm going to be doing my purpose, whatever that is. And here's how integrity falls into that today. You know, looking at life and other people's lives and how things have transpired. And I knew a couple people that, there were a couple, they had a couple children. These people had the utmost integrity. I mean, oh my gosh. They would not tell a lie under any condition. They just wouldn't do it. They wouldn't even do a little white lie. I mean, it was just beyond their comprehension to be able to do that. And that was so great. It was such a pleasure to be involved with these people and to know them, because you always knew that you could trust them. It was just a wonderful experience having those kind of people in my life. It was amazing. By the same token, I mean, let's talk about these people, these two, for just a little bit, and then we'll move on. But one thing about these two people, because of their integrity, they were always true to themselves. Because of that, they always had, I mean, they weren't rich by any means, but they lived in abundance. I mean, you know, they didn't ever struggle with hunger. I guess maybe they did when they were children, but as adults they never did. I mean, they always had plenty. They always had enough to share if somebody came, you know, needing some money. They always had extra money to help people out. And that's just the way it was with them. I mean, it was extraordinary to watch these people of little means, how they were able to share with so many people. It was just amazing. As far as I'm not going to say, because I wasn't with them all the time, but as far as I know, if you came knocking on their door and needed help, you got it. I mean, whether it was money, whether it was food, maybe it was just assistance. You know, you needed some help. You needed help moving. You needed help in another way. They were there, and they always could help. By the same token, they had a couple of children, and I know the one child had a problem with lying. And where this came from, it's hard to say, because how do you learn to lie when you're growing up with a couple of people that they almost don't even know that it exists? So how did this child learn to lie? I mean, and he started at such an early age. It's really amazing how that one child went off the path and was so messed up and in his integrity. I mean, he would just lie about anything just to be lying. It was crazy. But here's something that happened to him. I watched him grow up, and through the years, he just lied about anything. Anything to benefit him, he thought was benefiting for him, he would lie about it. And as he became an adult, he continued to lie about stuff. He was just a liar. You couldn't really put a lot of faith in him. He would lie to his wife. He had extramarital affairs. He lied to his wife. He'd lie to his children. He'd lie to his bosses. He just lied to anyone, thinking that by lying to them it would make things better for him. Well, the really interesting story about this young man was he had an epiphany, and he woke up one day and he realized that telling false truths was getting him nowhere. I mean, it was getting him nothing but a lot of pain. All the times that he thought it was helping him and keeping him out of trouble and away from pain, what it was actually doing was creating more pain, more troubles. And once, after he had this epiphany and he got clear on this, he began to be so honest. And he became like his parents, and you just couldn't get him to tell a lie. He just wouldn't do it. And it totally changed this young man's life. Totally changed it. From miserable and a lot of pain to a place where he had all of his needs met. He was happy. He was happy in his relationships. He developed great relationships with his children. And everybody that he met got to know that this guy, you could depend on him. If he said this was going to be the way it is, this is the way it is. And it changed his whole life. He went from a miserable failure in life to an outstanding gentleman, where it seemed like nothing could hold him down once he made that transition from liar to truth teller. Just amazing. So what the whole thing is, the point of this is we always associate being honest and having integrity, we associate it with being honest and forthright to our friends and acquaintances, and how important that is. And of course it is. It's extremely important. But what is even more important is once you make that commitment to go with integrity and not let anything get in your way and stop you from being totally honest, what happens is you also wind up making that commitment to yourself. You know, I don't think it's a conscious thing that happens. I think it's just an effect, a side effect of making that commitment to be completely honest with everyone under any circumstance. And because of that commitment that you make consciously, what happens is you just made a commitment to yourself. The commitment to yourself to be totally honest and forthright to yourself. So let me tell you about it, how this works. It works on a level that's almost indescribable, but I know of a young man that had been on cocaine, and he started making these commitments to himself to be honest to himself, to be committed to himself. And when he decided to quit cocaine, it was just, well, I'm going to quit cocaine. I'm going to quit it. And it was party over, man. I mean, he just quit. Then he was a smoker. He smoked cigarettes, and he chewed tobacco. And he went along for a while, and he goes, I'm going to quit smoking. I'm just going to quit. And you know what? It was that easy for him. It was that easy. You know why? Because when he told himself that he was going to quit smoking, he knew he had to be totally honest here. You can't lie to yourself. Yourself always knows if you're lying to yourself. And this guy had the wisdom to understand that he could not lie to himself. So when he said that he was going to quit smoking, it was just like that. He's done. I quit. I'm not smoking anymore. And he dropped that habit. Soon after that, he quit chewing tobacco. Now, he was still drinking pretty heavy. I mean, he was drinking pretty heavy. I was kind of concerned about him, the way he was drinking. But he made a commitment to quit drinking, and it was like, boom, he just shut the faucet off. The drinking was over. This young man understood personal integrity and what it meant to be true to yourself. People, think about it. I mean, you can change your life that easy. The first thing that you have to do is be totally committed to being totally 100% honest with yourself. With yourself. That means that person that lives inside this body bag that we all wear. That thing that we can't touch and we can't really describe what it is. It is our sacred self. Whenever you come to the point where you understand that you cannot fool that sacred self, and when you become totally honest with your sacred self, everything's easier. You can do whatever you say you're going to do, because when you say you're going to do it, your sacred self starts putting in motion everything that it's going to take for you to do and achieve whatever it is you said you were going to do and achieve. And you can achieve it. Now, this guy, he was also, I don't want to say hooked on it, but energy drinks, Red Bull and all that crap. He was hitting that stuff pretty hard. I mean, it was like almost he couldn't live without it. And when he quit drinking alcohol, when he quit that, he also made a commitment to himself that he was going to quit the energy drinks. And it's amazing. I mean, how many people do you know in your life that when they say whenever they have an addiction and they say, I quit this addiction, and they just quit it? How many people do you know that can do that? These people are rare. But I know one. I found this guy. I'm totally in awe of him because of the commitment that he's able to make to himself and then follow through with it. I honestly believe that if he would sit down and begin to create goals and become a goal setter and determine how he's going to achieve those goals, people, I'm telling you, this guy could be a billionaire almost overnight because of his commitment to himself, because of his integrity. And he knows he cannot BS himself, so he just goes forward. He knows not to even try to do that, so he just moves forward and does whatever it takes to achieve whatever he says he is going to do. Absolutely amazing. And you can do that too. All you have to do is come to the place where that sacred self that resides in this human body bag that we wear on this physical plane. You come to that place where your sacred self resides. Understand that there is no lying to this sacred self. And once you say to sacred self, I am, it becomes real. It becomes real. I started off here a few weeks ago, and I promised you that I was going to give you all of these steps and explain to you how scientifically we manifest stuff. And I was going to take it out over 14 weeks, but you know what? Here is the whole skinny on this. It doesn't take 14 weeks. You've heard it clear today. Today. Make the commitment to yourself, to your sacred self. Be 100% honest with your sacred self. You can do whatever you say you are going to do. If you say that I am a rock star, you are a rock star. You say I am a race car driver, you are a race car driver. If you say that you are a CEO of AT&T, you are the CEO of AT&T. Whatever you commit to is yours. It is yours. All you have to do is make an honest commitment to your sacred self, and it is yours. It's that simple. It's a lot harder than it sounds, but it's that simple. Basically, though, it's not really hard at all. It's going inside and getting to know your sacred self and making your mind that, wow, I have not. Being totally honest here, looking back on your life and making that statement to yourself, wow, I have not been completely honest. I haven't. And flipping that switch and saying and making the commitment to your sacred self. Nobody else matters. Your sacred self is all that matters. And saying to yourself, I will live my life with integrity from this day forward. And mean it. And you do, have, go, be anything you want to do, go, have, or be. So there, my friends, is your scientific study of how to manifest whatever it is you choose. Just be totally honest with your sacred self. That's where it starts. Once you start doing that, once you do that, and you understand that there is no other way but 100% integrity, because you just can't have a little bit of integrity. You either have it or you don't. You either have it or you don't. Think about it. You either have integrity or you don't. So you have to get that clear in your head. Little white lies don't work. Any kind of deception does not work. 100% complete total honesty is all that you can be. And once you become 100% total complete honesty, your life will change. You will be able to do and be and have whatever it is that you choose to do, be, or have. My friends, thanks for joining me. Hey, I'm going to be here next week. Hay fever, no hay fever, we're going to be here, my friends. So join us. This is Akasha Shabba Khaan. Namaste.
Remember what Akasha always says. The truth is out there. Question everything and remain curious, my friends, and have the best day ever.